Shine with Kendell Lenice. Real talk for real people. Let's shine together.
Allow me to introduce myself. Thank you for shining with me first and foremost every week on Shine with Kendell Lenice. I am a certified transformational life coach, speaker, author, as well as a certified financial coach. Each week I hope to elevate you, educate you, and entertain you with our various guests and various topics here on Shine with Kendell Lenice. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to tell a friend. And now on to this week's show. Today's show is sponsored by 617 Lip Love, Organic Lip Moisturizer Balm by Kendell Lenice. Get yours today at leniceboutique.com. This product is for men and women and its signature flavor, eucalyptus mint. It's the bomb, y'all. Get it today at leniceboutique.com. Protect your lips, heal your lips at all costs. 617 Lip Love Organic Lip Moisturizer Balm. Get yours today at leniceboutique.com. Support Black businesses, support women-owned businesses. leniceboutique.com. Hey everybody, I hope everybody is well. This is your host, Kendell Lenice, also known as Lady Motivator. Thank you so much for tuning in to Shine with Kendell Lenice today and every week. If you are one of my faithfuls who continue to come back every single week and you told your folks, your people, your fam about Shine with Kendell Lenice, I'm so happy that you did. If this is your first time tuning in, this is your very first time, you are a Shine virgin, I thank you so much. Please, everybody subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Please subscribe. It's so important that you do that. Share with your friends, give a comment, rate it. Please do that. It's so important for us podcasters that you do that. Again, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Shine with Kendell Lenice. All right, so we got a great show, and I say we because we are doing this thing together. It's you and I together. Thank you so very much. I hope everybody's having a good week thus far. You know, it's so funny because my daughter sent me a tweet from Tamar Braxton, and she said, I got stuck on the side of the road, and I didn't think people was getting stuck on the side of the road in the car in 2020. And we were like, yes, we know that you can do that because we were stuck on the side of the road. My alternator broke in my car. No signs, no nothing. But God is good all the time. You know, we were stuck out there for y'all for 5 hours in the middle of the night. Long story. Thought it was the battery. It wasn't the battery. And AAA said the battery people don't start till 7 a.m. So it was from 2 a.m. We waited till 7 a.m. It wasn't the battery. Child, it was a lot. But car's fixed. I'm good. Everybody is good. So I just thought that was a funny chuckle because a couple of days after that, Tamar Braxton was stuck on the side of the road and was like, people still get stuck on the side of the road. We was like, yup. People like, well, you don't have AAA? Yeah, but you still got to wait. You still got to wait till somebody picks you up. So I just thought that was funny. A lot going on this week, you know, hardly had any sleep, running back and forth here and there and everywhere. But I am never going to forget to come here for you on Shine with Kendell Lenice. If you just are tuning in for the first time, every single Wednesday, a new episode of Shine with Kendell Lenice is uploaded. I believe this is episode 134. Like every show, before we get started, I'm going to start with this week's life note. But the topic of conversation is, I'm a life coach, so if you didn't hear the intro or you don't know, so I like to coach you all. You know, it's so important to educate, elevate, and entertain you. That's what I do here on Shine with Kendell Lenice. So today's show is about relationship refreshers. You know how sometimes you get in a relationship and you get stuck and It's not moving left. It's not moving right. It's getting stuck. So we're going to talk about refreshing your relationship. Going to take a quick break for the life note and be right back. All right, it's time for this week's life note. All right, so this week's life note is far too many people are looking for the right person instead of trying to be the right person. That is from Gloria Steinem. So people often try to look for that right person when they're not the right person. How many times have you heard people say that? And it's like the same thing. It's like, would you marry yourself? So I don't know if if right now it sounds a little weird. Just bear with me for a moment, or it might sound fine. As you know, COVID, I was sitting here like, oh, y'all all in my business, and that's all right. That's what we do. So you heard that noise? That was aluminum foil. I just realized, I just forgot to take something out the oven. It's too much information, y'all. I know. And if you're just tuning in, I normally, don't do that. My bad. But talking about relationships that need to be refreshed. That's what we're going to be talking about today, and a whole lot more. So I'm so excited that you join me today. I'm so excited that you decided to spend your time with me, and you want to grow, you want to elevate. That's what this podcast is about. If you want to stay the same, this podcast is not for you. So we're going to get into this episode in one moment. Thank you for shining with me, Kendell Lenice. If you're here for the very first time, thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to the show, and don't forget to tell your friends and family about Shine. We'll be right back. All right. So how to refresh that stale relationship. Are you in a relationship and you've been in a relationship maybe a year, maybe 2, maybe 10, maybe 15 years, maybe 20 years, and you want to refresh the relationship because it's getting a little stale? It might be losing its shine. You might be into the same routine that you've been in, and you don't know how to get out of that. Is that anybody out there? Because if that is you, that's what we're going to be talking about today. All right. It's so interesting that when you're in a relationship and you think the relationship should go a certain way, or you listen to podcasts, or you listen to, other people's relationship. Sometimes people look at other people's relationships saying like, oh, I wish my relationship was this way, or I wish my relationship was that way. And why isn't my relationship this way? They told me when I'm in a relationship, I will feel this way. Or they told me when I was in a marriage, I would feel this way. Or they told me once I hit a certain age or a certain stride in the relationship, it will be this way. Well, I don't feel none of those things. And that's because there's no one size fits all in a relationship. So I want you guys to first and foremost stop thinking about that like it's a certain way that the relationship is supposed to be, because you see people posting things on Facebook, you see people posting things on Instagram, and then you're ungrateful about your relationship because it's not doing what you want it to do, and it's not like someone else's relationship. So it's important to, with anything, you got to rejudge it. You got to remix it. You got to, change it up a bit, switch it up a bit. You got to do things differently. And relationships are no different. So when we're talking about refreshing the relationship, it's about spicing it up. Put a little oomph in it. So you want to focus on, first, the basics. Mutual respect and kindness and love and trust and honesty. You want to make sure that you still are implementing those things, or the top qualities that are important to you in a relationship. Everybody is different when it comes to a relationship, when it comes to what you want, what you need. Everybody's needs and wants are different. Even the people in the relationship, even if they had different needs or wants or desires in the beginning of the relationship, let's just say, or midway through the relationship. Now that they're solidly in the relationship and life happens and things happen and, different things happen with both parties in the relationship, those things can change. Or if you were in a relationship and this worked for this woman or this man, and now you're in this relationship and it's stale because what you were trying to do in the last relationship is not working in this relationship, then that's when you have to, what I call a kitchen table meetings, where you sit down and you talk to that person. Like, hey, let's come, let's bring this thing, let's come together and figure out what's going on. So if your relationship needs a spice or needs refreshing, that's a conversation first and foremost. You want to make sure that you're still on the same page. You want to make sure that your mission statement is intact. And yes, when I coach couples, I'm like, okay, well, what's the mission for your relationship? What do you want to achieve in your relationship? And it got to be more than love. It got to be more than marriage and all of that. It's like, okay, do you want to change the world together? Do you want to start a business together? Do you want to have children together? Do you want to buy a house together? Do you want to sell your house, get a tiny house and move into an RV and travel the world? Like, what is your mission? Do you want to help other couples, other relationships? And each relationship and each coupledom has to have a mission. So you might, just like if you have a business and you change in your business and you start doing things differently or selling things differently or offering different services, sometimes you have to zhuzh up the image of your business or change things around in your store or change things around on your website or refresh it to make it look new again. That's just like a relationship. You have to do that as well. If you don't do that in a relationship, you don't do that in a business, it's going to be stale, right? So you have to do that within that as well, and it's no different. So you want to have clear communication with your partner, clear. So what you said was, so what I understand is that's clear communication. And you want to do whatever you did to get them, you want to do that to continue to keep them. If you went on walks in the park or walks by the water, or they made your favorite meal, or they did the little extra special bubble baths and flowers to the bed and, the rose petals on the floor, or they gave massages, or they, brought you tea in the morning, whatever it is that they were doing, you got to make sure that stuff continues, because a relationship can get stale if people stop and be like, I got them now. So if they got you, they feel like they don't have to do anything to keep you. And that's one of the reasons that relationships get stale. Also, you got to take responsibilities to what you're doing or what you're not doing in the relationship. And one game I don't like is the blame game. Well, if you did this, I would do this. Or if you didn't do this, I wouldn't do that. All of that got to go. Because if you're in a relationship together, then you have to decide what's more important. Is the fighting and arguing more important? Or is the relationship itself more important? That's something that you want to think about. And also, you might have to get a relationship coach like myself, or go see a counselor, or go to a church group or a religious group, or get some help. Don't be afraid to seek outside help. If you don't know what to do with your relationship, don't be afraid to say, hey, I know you've been in this relationship for X amount of time, to somebody else. What do you do to spice up your relationship? Or if you're having troubles and difficulties, hey, I need to go see a relationship coach. I need to go see a relationship counselor just to get this back on track. There is nothing wrong with asking for help. We all need help, and we don't have all the answers. So when you don't have all the answers, you want to be able to go to someone with the answers, right? I would like to think so. So I don't want you to lose hope or lose faith in your relationship and say, you know what, this isn't working and I want a divorce. I want to end the relationship. anytime you want to end a relationship because it's not working for you, you have to figure out why it's not working for you. And then try to restore it, reignite that flame in the relationship. And both parties have to be willing to do that. Now, if there are deal breakers and something happens where it becomes stale, and you're stale because there was mistrust, there was cheating, there was abuse, there was something like that, and now it's stale because it's just non-existent because both of the people are numb, then that's something totally different. But if it's just you can't find your groove, because you've been doing this, he's been doing that, she's been doing this, he's been doing that, and you just keep crossing paths like like strangers in the night, then that's something different. Then you got to get that old loving feeling back. But because of Corona and COVID-19, a lot of couples have been spending time together that they don't want to spend together. They have been reintroducing themselves to their spouses, some good, some bad. And when I say good and bad, I mean the experiences. So you have to, and then some might say, you know what, I'm going to be in this room, you be in that room. And then now that person starts to get in the habit of watching their shows, watching TV, or cooking in there, or doing their nails, or cutting their hair, or they're starting to get used to the time apart within the home. Because if you're in the home with someone and you're quarantining 24/7, then you're going to need your own space. You're going to need a break from one another, but you want to make sure that break is not a permanent break where now you two can't come together again as one. So Psychology Today, or Psychology Central, Psych Central, actually, I'm so used to looking at Psychology Today. They have a great article on how to refresh your relationship. So I'm just going to take a quick break, and we're going to talk about that when I get back. Today's show is sponsored by 617 Lip Love, Organic Lip Moisturizer Balm by Kendell Lenice. Get yours today at LeniceBoutique.com, and its signature flavor, eucalyptus mint, for all of the amazing healing agents. Protect and heal your lips with 617 Lip Love for men and women. Order yours today at LeniceBoutique.com. It goes on smoothly and it smells great. But most of all, it's the bomb. Get your 617 Lip Love Organic Lip Moisturizer Balm at LeniceBoutique.com. And now, back to the show. Back to the show. You caught me chewing. Hey, this is real life right now. What can I say? But I thought I had a little extra time, and I didn't. But LeniceBoutique.com, if you want to buy black, that is my lip balm. All right. My apologies. I'm so ashamed. I'm so embarrassed that I was chewing. I thought that I could chew faster, y'all. All right. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. And for the people that like the sound of chewing, what is that, ASMR? That was for you. The people that despise it, I'm so sorry. All right. So, how to refresh your relationship today. And this is from a licensed counselor. So some of the things that I was talking about earlier, talking about reigniting the flame and trying to restore the passion in the relationship. And sometimes that's so important to do that, but people just don't know how. They don't know how to start to do that. And I always say, just start. Just start. And people are like, well, what do you mean just start? Whatever you feel that will help the relationship, start it. Do it. Be first. Don't wait for someone else to start it. Like, don't wait for your partner to start it. If you want a rose and your partner doesn't get you a rose, get you a rose and sit it up there. Buy yourself one. You know, your man might say, you know what? she bought a rose for herself. Okay, she don't need me to buy no rose. Or he might be like, okay, well, let me step up my game. You're dropping the little hints. You have direct communication. And then men, you can have hints, and women, you can have hints too, to kind of spice it up. Like, say, hey, babe, look at this online. Isn't this nice? This is something that we can do. Or, let's go in the backyard. Dinner's going to be tonight. We're going to have such and such. Now, the man can cook or the woman can cook. Whoever's the best cook, because you want the best cook, right? Whoever, the man or woman, you can say something like, okay, so meet me outside in the back at 7:00. We're going to just have dinner outside today. That's a way to spice it up, because if you sit at the table, or one person is in the bedroom eating dinner, the other person is in the living room eating dinner, or you're eating dinner at different times, that's a way to bring the spice together. That's a way to bring you two together by saying, you know what? Meet me in the backyard at 7. Hey, if you don't have a backyard, meet me on the balcony. If you don't have a balcony, meet me on the porch. If you don't have a porch, meet me on the patio. If you don't have a patio, meet me on the curb. Wherever you need to go to have that intimate. So even if you're in an apartment, you might have like the back patio or the back deck. Meet me out there for dinner. If you have a home or house out in the backyard, if you were in apartment community, you may have a park, or you might have grills in the back. Whatever it is, just spice it up. Do something differently. Because how relationships get stale, and by the way, I haven't gotten to the article yet, so this is the life coach talking. But the reason why the things get stale is because people don't know how to add excitement into their lives, because they're in the same routine. And then people get so mad, well, he did this, she did that, and they're so stuck in their ways that both are waiting for the other person to make that move. So whoever is listening to this, if this is the man, if this is the woman, make your move. Because if you've been stale or you've been stuck for a minute and you need a refresher, and neither one of you are refreshing it, be the first one. And then they're looking at you, and hopefully they will get on board. So this article talks about being social. Look for the healthy couples to hang out with. I agree with that. It's so important to, and it's now COVID, so this article clearly was before COVID, about going to barbecues and cool pool parties and camping picnics and going to the beach and socializing with other couples to bring new adventures to the list. Okay, so we got to kind of tweak this a little bit, because we're dealing with COVID-19 and ain't nobody trying to socialize that much with other couples in that way. But Zoom, social distancing, talking to other couples on Zoom and doing things like that, I think that that's a great idea, to do that and to see how other people are. And because to me, you can relearn to love your mate, your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whomever, whatever you call it, your partners, whatever you call your significant other. I believe that when you see that person that you picked or picked you interact with other people, they become sexier. If they're not jerks, by the way, but if they're interacting with other people and you're seeing their personality and you're seeing them laugh and you're seeing them outside of how you've seen them, or outside of just the context of your home and your redundant maybe home life, that will give you a little extra spices and herbs when you see that person, or how they are with strangers. To me, that's something that's very sexy. How are they with strangers? Are they nice to strangers? Are they kind to strangers? Or are they jerks? And this goes for women too, because women can be jerks as well. Like, that kind of thing can kind of put a little extra in your relationship. All right, so back to the list. Make your partner feel special. Let him or her know that your relationship is at the top of your priority list. Brainstorm different ways that you can show them daily. I agree with that, because if you're in the rat race of life, Some people can forget that they're special, so sometimes you have to remind them on ways to show them how special they are, because you can't just assume that somebody knows that they're special to you if you're never showing them. And if you become very busy and you're doing your thing, it's easy to forget to show them that. Also, learn to be an effective communicator. I completely agree. Being a good communicator means being a good listener. Now, I'm going to pause there for a minute. And this is for the people in the back. I'm going to read this 3 times in a row. Being a good communicator means being a good listener. Being a good communicator means being a good listener. Being a good communicator means being a good listener. Clear my throat on that on purpose. Most couples listen with the intent to reply, instead of listening with the intent to understand. We know this is true, y'all. And I say it all the time, even when I'm coaching folks. Most couples listen with the intent to reply. They're already thinking about what their rebuttal is going to be, what they're going to say next. Oh, I'm going to kill them with this. I got this to say to them, and another thing. And you did this. Meaning you ain't even heard. You ain't tried to understand what the person was talking about, because you were so focused on ready, set, go, what you were about to say. And there lies the problem with ineffective communication. Because talking don't mean you're communicating. Talking just means some air is blowing out of your mouth. That's really, sincerely, what that means. And that's not what you want in a relationship. You want effective communication. Again, being a good communicator means being a good listener. Most couples listen with the intent to reply instead of listening with the intent to understand. What I need from you is understanding. I'm a writer, not a singer. All right. Next on this list, I told y'all it's about entertainment. I'm going to entertain y'all too. Play nice. It's not always going to be fun and games. There will be times that you and your partner don't get along. That's true. I'm married and I say that's true. Watch your tone. No name calling. No degrading. No blaming. Before you speak, ask yourself, is this helping or hurting the relationship? If you slip up, don't forget to apologize. I think this is so important to rejuvenate your relationship. I'm going to read this again. Play nice. It's not always going to be fun and games. There will be times that you and your partner don't get along. But, I'm going to put a but there. Watch your tone. No name calling. No degrading. No blaming. Before you speak, ask yourself, is this helping or hurting the relationship? If you do all of that, you degrade, you name call, you blame, and you know that you're wrong and you know that you're hurting the relationship, say, I apologize. Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Apologize. All right. Next on this list is volunteering at a church or soup kitchens, women's shelters. Remember, this is pre-COVID. Also will give you, or giving back to the community will give you and your partner a sense of accomplishment. So basically they're saying do something together that is fulfilling. That's the gist of it. And that will give you a sense of accomplishment together. So now I'm going to just add mine. This sounds so corny, but do a puzzle together. Record a video together. Do something that's impactful. Write a song together, a love letter together. Do something that it's a sense of accomplishment at the end together. And then you'll always have that to share. Okay, break up the routine from time to time to make it more exciting. And that's what I was talking about in the beginning of the show. Sometimes you got to just remix it a bit. You know, my quote that I coined is it's never too late to remix your life. And I'm going to just add it's never too late to remix your relationship. You know, who wants to do the same thing every single day? That becomes monotonous and that becomes boring. And that's going to need some refreshing. That's going to need CPR. That's going to need a lifeline, a lifeboat, a life jacket, SOS. You know, that's you because you can't keep doing the same thing the same way all the time. Anybody's going to get bored from that. I know I would be bored from that. The next one is learn to accept your partner for the things that you like and don't like. Respect each other's differences. Allow your partner to be themselves. If we mold our partner to be what we wish they were, then we are only loving the reflection of ourselves. What? This is for the people in the back. Learn to accept your partner for the things that you like and don't like. Respect each other's differences. Allow your partner to be themselves. If we mold our partner to be what we wish they were, then we are only loving a reflection of ourselves. Now, this happens time and time again in relationships. Men do it, women do it. I've done it, you've done it. You almost try to mold them and you don't even know that you're molding them. You're like, well, I like this, well, I like that. And think about it. If your person is not free to be themselves, then who are you really loving? You? Then you need to be in a relationship with you. You have to learn to respect the differences because everybody doesn't have the background you have. Everybody wasn't raised like you were raised. Everybody's not from where you're from. Everybody didn't have the same experiences that you had. And that's the beauty of differences. So I say just learn to accept and embrace the beauty of someone else's past or someone else's life or someone else's job. That gives you more to talk about. Because if they're just like you, then how boring can that be? All right, so here's a great one that I think is good. Everyone needs time alone. Yes, Lord. Take a personal day and enjoy being with yourself. What I call, as a life coach, I call this a self-date. I am an advocate for dating yourself because if you don't like to be around you, ain't nobody else going to want to be around you. So this list says go for a walk. Yep. Have a spa day. Well, COVID. Hit some balls on the golf course. They're probably okay. Or find whatever is relaxing. I love doing my nails. Always have since the 7th grade. I like to take myself on a date out to eat. Can't do that no more. Right now, anyway. I can order some takeout. I can't just go sit down. I'm not there yet. You know, some people are. More power to you. I'm really trying to be cautious, not pulling my mask up in public. Massages, I used to go get those. Not doing that so much anymore. But I still find ways to date myself or to be with me or to do my nails, manicures, pedicures, and I was doing mine way before COVID and everything was closed. Whatever it is, I like to go walk by the water. Just stand there or just sit on the bench and just listen to the water. Whatever brings you peace of mind, get your alone time. Even if you're in the house and you're sitting in the corner reading a book or online or doing something, just take a moment to breathe and not be in each other's face 24/7. I know, one of my girlfriends is like, I'm so touchy-feely. I like to be up under them all the time. I'm like, but give them a break and give yourself a break. And then when you come together, it's that much sweeter. That's a way to refresh it right there. Allow them to miss you. If you're up in their face 24/7, even if you live together or even if you're together and maybe live separately, then don't go over there every day. You might want to see them, but just have some distance. That way you'll be able to miss the person, and that's a way to refresh it. I know some of y'all people that are extra clingy, like, I gotta be up in there, my man or woman's face, and that's fine. But you gotta switch that up just a little bit. So next on this list, surprise your partner Try a card to let your partner know how you appreciate him or her, a smiley face balloon to brighten a tough day at work, a bouquet of flowers or chocolates, watching a romantic movie together, surprises, straighten up the garage or the kitchen. That's my kind of thing. That's one of my love languages, though, acts of service. If anyone has talked about and taken the test for the 5 love languages, I think my top one was acts of service. So that sounds good to me. That's mighty sexy, straightening up that garage or that kitchen, and it could be a great gift. Absolutely. Absolutely. Rubbing them feet can be a great gift too. All right. Intimacy on here. Intimacy not only means physical affection, it also means emotional affection. Pardon. All right, take time to talk to your partner about your emotional and physical needs. Discuss how you can improve in these areas. I think that's so important. Some people don't like to get touchy-feely when it comes to emotions, even in a relationship. But you got to do it. You got to know where your partner stands emotionally, y'all. It's so very important. All right, on their list, the next one is equally divide the chores. It could be more intimacy so what they're saying basically is if you divide what you got to do in the house, and you'll have more time for intimacy together. All right, so the next one they have on here is experience something new. Maybe redo a room together to learn how to make sushi, or try different things they said you might find on Pinterest. I love Pinterest. Pinterest has so many great ideas. And now I'm going to add TikTok. I've found so many hacks on TikTok and so many things that you guys can do on TikTok. So think about things that you can do. And even if you have a brain freeze and you can't think of what to do to spice up the relationship, just deciding to listen to this episode will help you a lot. Just to decide that, it's going to help you. So you want to think about that. Also, schedule some uninterrupted time for the two of you on the family calendar. So if you have kids, young or old, big or small, or if you have so many things that you're doing in the house, around the house, on the side of the house, for work, for play, for fun, you can't forget to schedule your boo in there. And I know a lot of you busy fellas, a lot of you busy ladies, you got to do it. I have to do it myself, not actually writing a schedule out, but it's about balance. Because once I start working and I'm doing my YouTube shows and I'm doing different coaching sessions on the phone, then I'm trying to watch movies with my daughters, then I'm trying to you can't fit your boo in last. You can't do that. You got to be able to make them a priority. It's so important because that will add new life to your relationship. So that was the last one on that was the schedule interrupted time. So of course I added a little bit of mine, as I always do, but that list was a very good list, and I must say I approve that message. But it's so important to really decide, okay, as a team, hey, have that conversation, that kitchen conversation. What do you think about this, relationship? What do you think that we need to do? A check-in. I think couples should check in with each other once a week or once a month, whatever you suggest, as long as you check in and say, hey, what's good with you? How are you? Anything that you'd like me to do, anything you want to do, anything I'm doing, anything you're doing, I'm just making sure we're good. I think that's so important. I think it's so important to continue to date, even when you're dating, even when you're in a relationship, even when you're in a marriage. You got to make that time for one another, because if not, the staleness and the distance between you can become wider and wider and wider until you decide, you know what, I don't want this relationship no more. Because it's too stale, it's too boring, it needs to be revitalized. Now I don't feel like revitalizing it. Okay, I see you don't feel like revitalizing it. So now we're going to stay in the relationship and be bored together, or live separate lives within the relationship or we're going to refresh the thing and make it the best relationship yet. So it's so important not to get fooled by what you see on social media and if you think people have positive relationships, but look for the people in your life who have positive relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that you really know, that it's not a facade for social media, because so many people are facading, I'm making up that word, facading for social media and not for real. But you have the power to do anything you want in life and anything you want in your relationship. So if your relationship needs revitalization, refreshing, remixing, any of the R's, you need to first decide that and say, you know what? We have a problem. It's getting stale. You talk to your partner and say, hey, let's do some things. Let's do some things differently. But I'm telling y'all, try changing where you eat. If you're eating at home at the kitchen table, take it outside, take it in the bedroom, and watch a movie and eat, or talk by candlelight or eat. Or if you go for a walk, or if you don't go for a walk, say, okay, every night we're going to go for a walk, or we're going to have some type of outing together. We're going to get a smoothie, or we're going to do, you can start off small like that to show the person that they are important. Or you can do things, just do them differently. But first you got to acknowledge once again that you need some refreshing and move forward towards that. But don't give up hope in your relationship, and don't go breaking up or getting a divorce. Figure out how you can refresh your relationship, whether it's after a year, after 5 years, after 10 years, after 15 years, 20 and beyond. You still can refresh your relationship and have the relationship that you want. You can be your own relationship goals. All right? That's it. That's all. Thank you so much for tuning in to Shine with Kendell Lenice. I'm here to educate you, elevate you, and entertain you. So hopefully I did just that today. Make sure you guys go over to LeniceBoutique.com to get my 617 Lip Love Organic Lip Balm. It smells amazing, and it's for your protection and healing of your lips, under your mask and outside of your mask. But thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and leave a comment and rate this show. Thank you so much. God bless. Remember, you're a star, so don't allow anyone to dim your shine. Until next time, peace.
Shine with Kendell Lenice. Real talk for real people. Let's shine together.